Hi, I'm Hazen Fields II.
I'm Trey.
And I'm Lex.
And this is
Various Fields.
We are so glad to have with us a wonderful human being, a super duper talent, a wonderful heart of a human being. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the Various Fields family, Miss Jessie Rad.
Thank
Jessie
you.
Rad.
Thank you so much.
Wow. Well, listen, we are very happy to have you here. One of our good friends and the marketing mastermind was responsible for getting you here, Mr. Paul Rudnick. Let's have Mr. Paul Rudnick.
Paul with the team.
And we're just glad to have you here. And your, I guess your resume is so large, I don't even know where to begin, because you're a musician, you're an advocate for people who are dealing with all kinds of things. So I guess the best way to introduce you is to have you give us a little rundown of who are we speaking to.
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you so much for having me. And I feel so welcome and so blessed to be here. I love the show. I'm a Various fan of Various Fields. But yeah, I'm based in Philadelphia, but I live in Vermont. I made a big move by myself about 3 years ago, and I started working at a dementia unit and short-term rehab unit and long-term rehab unit. It's called a SNF, which is a skilled nursing facility.
Okay.
And I'm a CODA there, which is I work in occupational therapy. And I hadn't written in so long. My band had broken up years ago, and I stopped doing things. I stopped singing for people. I stopped playing for people. I was in a real big drought, and I really wanted to write like one big album. I hadn't written an album in years, and I wasn't writing songs, and I had this idea to write about my patients at the dementia unit, and that just popped out. Like I wrote and recorded and composed and everything in 2 months.
Wow.
Everything in 2 months. And of course, it took a little bit to produce it. My amazing producer and mixer and master, Ben Eder, who made the songs come to life. But yeah, I made 10 songs, and now I'm trying to advocate for the Alzheimer's, which is the biggest form of dementia, along with Lewy body, vascular dementia. You've got frontotemporal dementia, just all the types of dementia. And right now we're focusing on Alzheimer's, and they are also, alz.org is sponsoring my album and sponsoring my album release show. So I know that was like a lot right in one, but
shout out to them. Fantastic.
Yeah, shout out to them. They've been great. And I put my heart and soul into this. I do, of course, all musicians put their heart and soul into this stuff, but I also put into my knowledge and my personal relationships with my patients. And, I wrote about them without writing about them. I can't use their names. I can't, do anything like that. I can't say, oh, this song is for this, but I have my nicknames for them. And, I was able to write about, patients that meant so much to me that I work with every day, and such a terrible, fascinatingly intriguing disease. But also, I see such terribleness in it every day, but I wanted to focus on the amazing, whimsical intricacies of dementia and how these wonderful people have this horrible disease, but do so much with it, and turn it into such positivity and beauty. And I just see the beauty in every single patient. So
I definitely hear you talking about the passion of it all, but where do you make the through line to say, this is what I want to do with my music? Where did that inspiration come from?
Yeah.
So I know this sounds silly, but I went to see a psychic. And it's someone I watch on YouTube all the time. He's great. And I asked him, I said, can you do some kind of tarot card reading for me for what my album is going to be about? I don't know what to write about. And he said, write about what you know, write about your day to day, and write about something you're really passionate about, but might not be such a glorious subject. And I was like, oh, oh, okay.
Right.
It made so much sense. And actually, one of my songs is called The Six of Cups, which our producer, Nels, actually did for me, the music video.
No! Voice of the future!
So my psychic did pull out a Six of Cups, and a Six of Cups means, you know, childhood and nostalgia, and bringing back some of that beauty in your young life. And that's what I see every dementia patient and friend with dementia that I reach. I see a child in them. So you know that really. So one of the songs, one of the I guess singles is called Six of Cups, and it's about, you know. So that's what I wanted to write about, just the beauty of these people, even though the terrible disease struck them.
I feel like this is a follow-up question because I'm just so intrigued by like both the process and the artistry, and like my brother said, like the connection there. But also I want to know that it sounds like a difficult process, but also because it's also partly art. Is this a difficult process to like translate the medical into the art process? Is it something that you like, oh, I leave it out? Is it, no, I have a perfect blend? How does that work for you? And
Oh, that's such a great question. Yeah. So some of my songs, for example, the first song is called White Matter. And dementia is the destroying of the brain cells or the nerves. And white matter is like the you know, the thick, thing that gets destroyed between the cells. And I wrote a whole song about white matter. There comes a time white matter dies. And it's all about, the lyrics are, open your eyes or wish me goodbye. Tell me one last time what is on my mind. Who am I to find life? So that was a very medical song. And then the next song is called CMR, and it's a completely different vibe, where it's about it's called Crescent Matter Rehab is where I work. I think I'm allowed to say that. And so that's where I work. So it's called CMR, and it's about all of our patients doing rehab and doing such a good job and fighting for their lives and succeeding. And I get to see that. I get to see that and be a part of it. So definitely very different vibes of each song, but mostly I try to make it fun, dream pop, indie, Baroque pop, rock, all that stuff. I try to make it, even though there are maybe there's one song about Lewy body dementia and how it's violent and how the wife gets her arm twisted and, all this stuff. And it's called The Boxer's Wife. And that's a sad song, but I still try to make it, there's trumpet in it. There's, a lot of, percussion and everything, a driving force. But I made the lyrics kind of sad, kind of sad, but I still wanted to make the song itself, a happy song. Like, he passed, things are okay. He's safe. He's now he's in his spot where he was when he used to tend the garden and the woodshed and everything like that. So there are a lot. There's definitely, it's a dynamic album.
So I find it also interesting that you brought up a genre, because I was going to ask that next. Because like with a lot of the somber topics being touched here, I want to know, how does genre in particular and putting out that message help convey it in the way that you're looking for? Because I know that, other side of the coin, Peter Griffin and those from Family Guy would often use barbershop quartets to sing about ailments as an example.
Right.
So how is it?
Obviously.
Right. So how is it like how does the genre meet the message and making the deliverable, I guess, feeling
Totally.
come out?
Another great question. I don't know if it does. I don't know if it does. I hope it does. I could have, composed something really sad with a 4-string, quartet orchestra, and, something really, really calming and I wanted this album to be for dementia patients about dementia patients.
Yeah.
And so I did actually put in a little bit of old 60s vibes
Okay.
in a lot of the songs
Oh,
because I wanted, and I play these songs for my patients all the time.
Wonderful.
And they love them, and they
Yeah.
hear them as brand new every time they hear them because they forget about it. So it's amazing to see them. I have one.
That's interesting. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful way of dealing with this because I find that there's a lot of families that are dealing with this. First of all, before I get into my statement, please tell us the name of the album.
It's called Batenkill.
Okay.
Batenkill was it's a river in Vermont. The album's back there. And Batenkill was a river in Vermont where I was near when I thought about writing an album. And batten is like, to batten down the hatches, to close, to tie down. And I got that idea of in the 1900s, dementia patients were literally just thrown in asylums, tied down, just stripped and killed. That's how they died. Batenkill. So
a great deal of our friends who have disabilities that or what people think with disability are neurodivergent.
Yes, absolutely.
Friends have in the times of old were treated with
absolutely
horribly.
Absolutely.
But I thank you and people like you that are bringing attention to this because I was going to mention that there are families that are dealing with this and seeing their loved ones who are, and you very well may be at home watching this, and you're seeing things change in your family, and then someone like yourself puts music to it and to let people know that they're not alone. Because sometimes when you're in those situations and you see your family member that you've known for a long, long time, and they start to lose themselves to this, it can feel very like you're isolated and you're the only one going through it in the moment. And I thank you for singing it. Yeah. And I've listened to many of your songs, and I love the way that there was a calm in some of the things and the way you orchestrated the song, it was soothing, in a lot. So in other words, it was rhythmic, it's soothing, and I could see people relating to it and hearing it,
right,
and listening to it with their family member that might be suffering for, so that people can understand they're not alone.
That's exactly the exact what I strive to do with this album. It was an advocacy project, but it was also I don't want these people to feel alone, like they don't have media that I have I have a song about it where all these patients with dementia can't speak, but they can sing along with every single Elvis song that's ever been written. And so I feel like I wanted these to be their songs and their songs to listen to. My one patient, Bunny, I call her Bunny. I play her this song every day, or almost every day. I try to play it for her, and she cries. She goes, "This is about me." I said, "Yeah, this is about you." And she cries. No one's ever written a song about me. This is amazing. Thank you so much. She's tears in her eyes. She gives me a hug.
Wow.
And then the next day it happens over again.
That's amazing. I want to say it's amazing that you captured, because sorry, I have to start here. There's a quote that I like a lot. There's a comedian named Josh Johnson, and I think he retold the quote, so I can't remember the exact thing, but it goes, I think, art is how we decorate space, music is how we decorate time, and then comedy is how we decorate reality. And I love that a lot, but also the fact that I would argue, dementia and Alzheimer's is something that, affects your mind, but also affects your perception of time. And then music in itself is something that does capture time. Yes, it captures both beats and rhythms. And so to have a piece of media that speaks to that affliction, but also captures that moment in time. So anytime they may forget themselves, but that moment is keeping up with whatever, that's such a beautiful medium.
And
You did it. I'm just,
Yeah,
I'm just complimenting you.
Absolutely.
It's fantastic.
No, that's so true. I mean, dementia, some people just think like, oh, it's memory loss. You know, you forget things.
Right.
But it's a compilation between judgment, motor planning, language, you know, just not being able to orient yourself
Right.
to time and place.
Yeah.
And when they hear music, time stands still.
Absolutely.
And they
Yeah.
go back to their lives and
Yeah.
where was I when I listened to this as a child? I'm going to sing every single lyric
Yes.
along with it. And I'm just like, whoa.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, you know, I'll ask a question like, when did you listen to that song, you know? And they're not able to say anything, but they can still sing every lyric, you know?
Wow.
And
Wow.
it's funny, and just a subject change a little bit.
Yeah.
We had a little fair. We had a zoo animals come to our skilled nursing facility. So there's a llama and bunnies and goats and everything. So we do that like once or twice a year.
Yeah.
And we bring the dementia patients out, and some of them that can't talk start talking. Hello, little bunny.
Oh,
Hello, how are you, little bunny? And I'm like, she's nonverbal. What is she doing?
Right.
She's talking. She's talking because
Yeah.
she feels comfortable with these animals. It's therapy,
Wow.
you know. So it's really an amazing thing how therapy, how art and music and animal therapy can just really just change people's brain makeup, and you just see such a difference.
Yeah, I sometimes work with people with on disabilities, and,
Right,
you know,
yeah.
and I find it amazing the magic that lives within music. I've seen people who, as you said, were nonverbal, and they would hear music by James Taylor and know every word, and then actually emote basically that way.
Yeah.
And it's similarly that James Taylor did not write with the intention of reaching a particular
Right.
A group of people, but yet he does. But you, with that intention,
Yeah.
I think that's something wonderful, because when we speak about the different areas of the brain, sometimes when we feel that certain areas are not working as they once did, that there's something particularly lost, and maybe there is some, but I think there's a strength in other parts of the brain that still exists.
Absolutely.
And if we learn as a public to make that connection between music and art and you brought the animals and how to reach the people that we love, you know, it's still, you know, I think there's still like research being done on
Yes.
this
Absolutely.
subject, you know, but I thank you for tapping into that, which,
Thank you for
you know,
calling that out. Yeah.
We're going to be talking more, not just about the health aspects of your music, but also the creative process.
Sure.
And we're going to go in the last half, we want to talk about you specifically.
Great.
But so you're a musician in this. Now, what instruments do you play, if you don't mind?
I've been playing piano since I was 8 years old. I play a little bit of bass, and I am a singer. I never really felt like I was a good choir singer or a good Broadway singer or a good jazz singer so I kind of made my own voice. I made my own, you know, what fit me and what fit my music and my style. So once I started writing at like, you know, age 9 or 10, I realized that, you know, I'm not fitting into any of these other boxes. And my music was not fitting into any genres really. So I felt like what I have here, I thought was like trash, but people were like, no, it's special.
Absolutely.
It's
Yeah.
special. This is
Yeah.
something that, you know, people say I have a unique voice or a unique style of writing or whatever. It's hard for me to gauge that myself.
Right.
But, you know, I definitely see it. And the more I honed in on me and my style and what I was doing, I was excelling at it. And I was, you know, if you told me, you know, sing the Star Spangled Banner right now, I'd be like, in my style or in
Right,
Broadway
right.
style or in choir, so, like I'm not gonna sit here and be like, I'm a classical singer and I'm a, you sing with me and improv, but I have a fun voice and I have I can have a loud voice or sultry voice or whatever, but I really just focused on me and what I thought was good, what worked for me. And when I was, I started my first band when I was 16. I'm sorry, I joined a band when I was 16. I was the, backup singer and keyboardist. But I started my first band when I was 18, and that was called Tutley. And Tutley started as a 2-piece, but it went to a 6-piece, and by the very end, it was a 9-piece.
Wow!
So it was a very avant-garde. They called it Baroque Pop, whatever that means. But there was a harp in there. There was, 4 backup singers, keyboards, guitars, percussions, vibraphone, everything under the sun, which was really awesome. Great. I actually won a contest, the NPR Tiny Desk contest. It was, I didn't win it, but it was the top 10 best ones, and they included me. So I got to see Bob Boylan and perform for him and meet him and everything. Wow. So that was really cool. Tutley was a big part of me. Yeah. But when we broke up, I felt like I didn't have an outlet, and I felt like my songwriting was suffering, and I wrote an album that never came out called Meek Not Fevered. Nobody has heard it. Nobody has heard it. I think maybe 3 people have heard it, and they didn't really go perfectly with what I was trying to do. So I think I needed a good producer and everything, but and then I put out this album called Gacha Dokuru, which was an album about Japanese folklore, and just a concept album about that. And it was an EP, and I put it out after my band broke up, so nobody really didn't really go wide. So I'm hoping that Batenkill does go further, with talking about it, and with alz.org, supporting it, and, all of you guys just getting it. You guys just get it. And I really appreciate that. And I can't believe I'm lucky enough to have people talk about it and understand me and what I'm doing. So, yeah.
That's wonderful.
What is Baroque Pop?
Such a good question, too. So many good questions.
I was thinking I was stuck on for a second.
So Baroque music is like classical.
Yes.
So, the romantic language, romantic period of, classical, romantic, and Baroque. They called it Baroque Pop because it's very intricate. And it's like there's a lot of harmonies and a lot of music theory behind it. I love music theory. I'm a huge music theory buff, nerd, and obsessor with music theory. And I took it in high school. I took a college level course in high school, and I just fell in love with it. And I always just, I'm always composing harmonies and, things that, auxiliary instruments that I don't play, but I'm composing anyway for other people. And I fell in love with people saying Baroque Pop because it was just like, oh, cool. It has substance to it.
But,
you know what they say? If it's not Baroque,
don't fix it.
If you want to have any more conversations about music theory, or if you want to be harmonious with our conversation, please visit us at www.variousfields.com. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and hit all the buttons.
All right, I like it. There you go. Not only do you get a commercial here, you also get the vaudevillian comedy.
I love it.
That was fantastic.
Good transition.
I love it. It's so easy to talk to you guys. so nice. I was telling Paul, I was like, I'm so nervous for this. My tremor's gonna come out and everything. Like, what's wrong with you? But my tremor's actually pretty good right now.
Oh no!
Fantastic.
I guys, one of the things is, first off, we're honored to have you. That's the one thing. Like, I feel like, we're saying honored to talk to us, but we're honored to have you because I love the idea so much. And sorry, this is going to be like a detailed diatribe about everything you've said so far. But I love the idea so much because there are a lot of things that are like certain arts or certain things are considered like soft sciences, but the fact that you're blending the medical and the art, I have so many questions and interest because like we just talked about like the patients who are like seeing the rabbits and the animals and they're like, it's making them speak. And like there's stuff that can be studied about that. There's things that you're opening up. And I was actually just talking to my brother, me and him had a deep conversation the other day, kind of talking about the difference of like logic and emotion. And I feel like a lot of times they get separated a lot from each other, but they oftentimes feel like the two sides of the same coin kind of thing, where you cannot process something fully without one, either, or obviously both.
Right.
And I think sometimes, especially in medical fields or in the fields of sciences, we focus so much on what would be considered like the logical explanations. But a weird example I have, but this is not to dissuade anyone from like the nursing facilities, things like that. I was in a situation recently where of someone close to me was having to be in an emergency room, and we got taken care of, things like that. Sometimes I feel like the nurses or the people at the time, because you're in an emergency room, they have so much going on, they see it every day, maybe not the best bedside manner. But I don't mention that to the saying to knock it down, but I'm saying I think sometimes having a more tender touch, having care, connecting the patient will actually help with the healing process and the learning and things like that.
Totally agree.
And like I said, I'm just honored to have you, because having that connection, and actually I'll form it into a question, is, was it a feeling first? Was it like, this is something I feel like I need to do? You kind of touched on that. Or was it like a aha moment of like, oh, this may have this effect with these people? Was there a through line between like the medical knowledge and the science knowledge and the art, or?
The first thing you said, that was first.
Okay, yeah.
It was like I needed to pour. I had so much. I never wrote 10 songs and recorded 10 songs and composed 10 songs in 2 months' time.
Right.
I've never done that. My albums take a long time.
Yeah.
And I usually write like a little bit about a little. I was like, bam, bam, song about this, song about this, song about this. I mean, it was just like I was working at it, and I was like a mad scientist. That's what I felt like.
Yeah.
It was such a quick process. I was like, I have an album.
Yeah.
I have an album.
Yes,
I just need it to be produced and mixed and mastered.
Amazing.
So, so it definitely was like an on-pouring,
Right.
like it was like begging to come out. It was like begging to come out. And once I was like, oh, I felt, and then once I wrote it, I was like, whew.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
good.
and it's funny because since the year that they, my producer we added live drums, guitars, trumpets, all that stuff. And while that was going on, I had like 10 more songs that I wanted to write, about, I have this patient now that he wears dresses, and he's so sweet. He puts on dresses. I get him dressed every morning. He goes, "Can I wear my petticoat today?"
Oh.
Absolutely. And he puts it on, and I'm like, shoot, he's not in the album.
Oh.
Yeah.
Right.
But that's how I know I'm never going to stop being a musician.
Yeah.
I'm never
That's
going to
good. You
start
still
thinking
see-
artist.
yeah.
I still see
Excellent.
it. It's never done.
I want to speak on that further, because
Yeah.
recently we've been, I feel like, blessed to have a lot of artists on the podcast, things like that. And there's a through line I want to do where I'm like, I want you to be able to speak to the audience in this case. But can we talk about that process of it like pouring out of you? What did that feel like? Because I feel like there's a lot of times where people either, they have writer's block, or they don't see an artist in themselves. But that relationship with being an artist is very difficult. And I feel like there's always someone that needs a kick or a push or anything.
Yeah.
But just to yourself, to the audience, something. Can you talk about that process of what it felt like to have it come out of you, that need,
Oh my God,
especially
yeah.
in that time when you felt like you wasn't sure where you were coming from?
Absolutely. I'm to the audience. Definitely, writer's block is a terrible, terrible thing. I would go through years without writing, and get these inspirations, and nothing would come out. Nothing I played would be pretty. Nothing I sung would be, beautiful. Nothing that I did would work. And I went through all of living in Vermont, not writing and trying to write, and setting my keyboard up, doing a little station of covering songs, doing this, hoping it would maybe my biggest advice when you can't write is sing other people's songs and do covers and do covers for other people. I was telling Instagram, like, hey, what cover do you want to hear? I will play it for you in a video, and I will sing it for you. So that really helped, because I was still playing, and I was doing a lot of oldies and a lot of doo-wop songs, and I loved it. So I did a lot of covers, and that helped. The song, the last song, "Ooh La La," it was about it's by Faces, or Rod Stewart's in the band.
Gotcha.
I did that song for a Christmas present, and it actually ended up being on the album.
Oh,
so
wow.
that kind
Beautiful.
of worked
Yeah,
out, you know?
yeah,
So it was like, hey, that was my writer's block song, you know, and it got on the album. So, but yeah, definitely the fact that it's there, it's like right in front of you. I feel like when you know, they always say like it's like right in front of your nose or whatever. Like beyond, like, if you're not sure what to write about and what to do and what to say or whatever, go for the obvious. And the obvious was working 40 hours a week for these patients and having so many feelings for them and about them and everything. I had no idea that it was even allowed in my brain that I could write about these people. And so, you know, my psychic, or my, you know, my tarot reader was like, you know, write about what you know. You have something or someone trying to come out and pour out of you. And I was just like, oh, okay. So the something was dementia, and someone was the patient. So, but yeah, does that answer your question?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. No, that's beautiful.
Awesome.
I kind of want to go back in time a little bit, because reading a little bit about your background, I thought it was very nice, and that there was very specific mention of a Casio keyboard at 8 years old, I believe at the time. Tell me what you remember of that connection between you and music and Casio.
Oh my God. I love this. I love telling this story because I dreamt about it. I dreamt I got a keyboard, and then the next day there was a keyboard in my living room. And it was for Hanukkah. And I didn't know I was getting it, but apparently my parents said I used to, you know, bang on the keyboards and the pianos at my friends' houses. And they're like, I think, you know, she has something. So my brother did this thing where, you know, the trickery he pressed this button and, you know, pretended to play the keyboard where you just press one and it plays the whole song. So my parents would come in and be like, oh, Matthew, Justin, are you playing that? He's like, yeah, I'm playing it. And he totally got, you know, he was like, no, I'm not. So I decided I wanted to, you know, play with it. And I realized that they had a feature that you can, you know, press it to light up, and it shows you how to write it.
Wow.
So I'm playing it, and, you know, Beethoven's 95th Sonata or whatever is playing, whatever. And my mom comes in, she goes, nice try, Matthew already did that. And then I was just like, and she's like, and she's really playing.
Oh, very good. Oh, wow.
So I just started, you know, playing all these crazy, you know, Beethoven songs. You know, I mean, what other just all the classical ones that they had. They had 100 songs, and the last 20 were like all really, you know, and I played all of them. And so they realized that I had an ear for music. I could hear it and play it back.
That's so cool.
So yeah, they brought me to piano lessons. I hated it. Mrs. Guth, shout out. I told her I have new songs to write. I want to show you them. I want to play them for you. And she said, nope, your parents are paying me for you to learn music and notes. So she didn't like that. So then I tried. So like, you know, 6 years later, my mom's like, you know what? We got to get Jessie like a really creative piano teacher, like out of the box piano teacher. So we did this guy named Alan, and he came over, and he was just like, just start writing things and doing things. And I was like, okay, but how do I do that? You know, how do I write things? And he's like, well, this is how I do it. And he was just too much on the other side. So I had these two complete, and I was like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to do it myself. So that's when I got really into music theory.
Oh, very good. Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Very good. Wow. That's beautiful.
Amazing origin story.
Yeah. Right. We always talk about the origin story to get to the superhero. Do you want to talk to the superhero?
Oh, actually, that would be a great way. Yeah, this is great stuff. Sometimes we do this at the end of the show, but for context, also me and my brother came up with this question in college, mainly because me and my brother write. We don't talk about superheroes, all that type of stuff. But for the context, we do it because it's, when you look at a comic book or you look at a superhero, sometimes the power tells you a lot about what that hero does. So now the question to you is, if you had a superpower that best described your personality, not necessarily the one that you would want, but your personality, what would it be? And I can give an example because sometimes people get tripped up on that one.
Oh my God, that's so great. Let's see. Oh my God. Sonic something.
Yeah.
Sonic something.
Yeah.
I'd be able to soundtrack every single thing in life. And like on it. Like I would walk in and it would soundtrack the vibe.
Oh, that's beautiful.
You like that,
Gerald
Trey?
McBoing Boing.
Gerald
Gerald McBoing Boing.
Yeah.
There was
What's that?
There was an HBO animated series. Like it was made for kids, right? Like you've heard of Harold and the Purple Crayon?
Yeah.
Something akin to that. There was
Yeah.
a child that was only raised on the sound effects of the world. So that was how he was able to communicate, right? And you go through problem solving things. And they go, "What's Gerald talking about?" And he just makes a random noise here, there, and the third. Oh, he wants to go driving to get ice cream. Gotcha. So you brought up an associative memory.
That's
And so,
great.
I know it just made me think about actually. Speaking of associative memory, I'm actually thinking about, and I'm sorry that I'm going on.
No,
go ahead.
Right, but I'm understanding a little bit more and more about how much of a caretaker you truly are with your music, because people often, me in your line of work, we are aware of what you guys do, but we don't understand like the depth of it all. You know what I mean? So always trying to figure out like, I just find it to be like miraculous to have something like this, right? To kind of spur on those moments of agency within an individual, right? Because if you are talking about like how do you rekindle those pieces of yourself, whether it be through the artwork that they draw or doodle or the music that they hear, and they have glimpses of what they who they always are, right? But like it's like I find it interesting that we're talking about a little bit of the social memory, how one facet of the individual can always be tied to like a bowl of oatmeal.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And I find that interesting that you're doing that by giving them not just like a single song, but an album where they can decorate their time with and kind of like stay kindled and anchored to those memories.
So there's different parts of them, but they're still them,
Yeah.
kind of thing. Because the album artwork is like just how what you described is just what I was trying to do with the album artwork.
I love that.
So like they're 5 women, and the one woman, his face is completely not covered. And I did that on purpose because I wanted them to be like, everyone look at her, that's who she is. There's nothing, she's still her. No matter what disease she has, it's still her. And then you have the whimsy, which is the astronaut helmet. You've got the cloud, which is the abysmal, terribleness of it. And then you've got the radio, which is the nostalgia and the kid. And then the sunflowers are in yellow because that represents hope.
I love
So that kind of reminds me of what I tried to do with the album.
No, the intentionality is
Thank
fantastic.
you. I think right now I'm going to be putting some work on those, but I'm sure you're going to be seeing the picture somewhere down here on the lower. Is it called the lower third or
Lower third.
What is it called? But we'll make sure that so that you can see it at home with clarity, because we're seeing the picture here, and it. As my son used the word intentionality.
Yes.
I love the idea that there's nothing about this album, this album that's done just haphazardly.
Right.
Everything down to the picture. And I think that speaks to,
That's
as my
great.
son said, to your heart.
I didn't want to make it too on the nose, but there was just so much that came out of like even the way that the people on the album are running toward, they're running away from the dark clouds, and in the sunflower fields. I made everything so intentional, and I kind of feared a little bit that I was going to be making that like too much, like, oh, I'm overthinking, but I'm glad that you guys think that it's a good amount.
Oh no, it's fantastic.
I'm going to ask a question. I'm going to put it to the guys as well.
Yeah.
And this is, just something I'm thinking about in terms of dementia and finding those things that resonate with the people there, that gives them agency and brings out who they are. It seems to me that there are pieces of us that are tethered to something that will bring us back to no matter what.
Yeah.
So, bring us back to a thought. And obviously we can't know what those things are, because we sometimes think it's of something very, very big, but it could very well be something very, very small.
Right.
But I want us to all maybe what are things that you think for yourself, and we can all take turns, that might tether you if you ever get into a situation where you might not remember something.
Yeah. Oh
What
my
are
gosh.
things that
Great
might tether you?
I mean, the obvious music.
Yes.
Music and smell too. Aromatherapy is really big in dementia care. Those are mine.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it might be obvious for us, but at least comedy is a lot of it.
Yes.
Laughs. I can see
Yeah,
like
yeah.
both in like, maybe it's a very specific joke, but also sometimes I'll see something that feels or reminds me of a bit I did with my family or my friends, and that will
Yes.
tether a moment. So comedy a lot.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's definitely the jokes between us and a
Yeah.
little bit of our
Yes.
writing worlds.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. Like there was at one point in time, Lex actually posted the question to me. It's like, if I ever forget you, there's only one thing we can say to each other. Like even if there's like a doppelganger of you, we know exactly what we're going to say.
See,
Right?
yeah,
He's like,
yeah.
what does the number 10 say about you?
Yeah,
Right?
we
Like,
both-
he's like,
No.
hey, it's like the number 10, yeah, it's 10, it's fine. He's like, if it's between the two of us, we know what number 10 means to us.
Right.
But,
The
but,
same
like,
way with my siblings
Exactly.
too.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
that was definitely one thing. And we also have, like, I don't know, we always randomly say blame it on the boogie.
Oh,
But I think it's like those comedy moments, those conversations that we've had with family members, definitely,
Yeah.
right? That I always just bring back to.
Definitely.
Yeah. I think for myself, like yourself, music is definitely maybe the big ones. My guitar, if something like that, or one of my guitars that you bring in there, I could do. The fellas, absolutely, just them being about, and the other side is Bugs Bunny. I think there will be moments where those cartoons that we've
Right.
shared,
Right.
I say Bugs Bunny, but it kind of brings in the whole thing. We had a moment where they laughed at my old Aquaman. It was the 60s. There was a cartoon. There's this franchise,
Yeah.
and the Aquaman. One of my favorite moments for that was where as a kid, I thought it was amazing that Aquaman would be able to twirl his hand and create this hard ball of water and throw it at them, and it would explode. And they would get. But when we played it back, it came out. You balled it up, and it was kind of. It didn't have the explosion that I thought.
You remembered it.
Yeah, and we all remember the speed racer.
Oh,
Speed
yeah.
What was that? Liar!
You love Fearless Free.
Yeah. Fearless freak. Yeah, keep on jumping on.
To give some context, my dad had a Speed Racer DVD for a while. I went on. You played it all the time, but we figured out there's like an A/B button on the DVD, so you could like replay scenes. And for some people who can capture comedies and moments, that's a very dangerous button. Play that back like 5, 10 times. And then the more it played, the more we laughed.
And we were all doing it, saying, liar!
That is so funny. Me and my brother and my sister, shout out Nicole and Matt. They're also both on the album. We have like weird things, like little quirks, little songs, little jingles, little things. And then we if there was a time where, if God forbid, somebody forgot our memory or whatever, if we were able to repeat that jingle or music or whatever, we would just get it right back. It's crazy.
I
Go ahead.
was gonna say, I have a quick follow-up question to the one that you asked, because this I find this funny to me. I feel like I have really bad memory. I feel like there's some, and I guess we're talking about social media. There's times where like I've met coworkers and people, and like really important people, really important numbers, things I should have, and I'll forget that immediately. And then like I can remember like an obscure character from a comic book, and that's it.
Indeed.
But I also want to just want to say a positive, I'm not sure that's the right word, but I also want to bring to everybody a question, which is, do you have, if not an earliest memory, but maybe like a memory that feels like it's a pocket, you don't really know what's associated with, or like it just for some reason it sticks with you? And I'll give you an example just because for some reason this one sticks with me, because I think I may have been, you might be able to remember, when did we go to Hershey Park when I was a kid?
Yeah.
Hershey
Oh yeah, we got video of that.
But you know how old I would have been or something?
I'm gonna say about 8.
Right, 8. I would have been young then, and for some, I really don't remember anything about me being 8. Like when I was young, like I was, it's a while ago. For some reason, it feels like one of my earliest memories. I remember specifically seeing like a chocolate cow. Because we're on like this little tour. Hershey Park has like this little like.
Oh, I know.
That little attraction.
Yeah, I live in Philly, so
oh, great,
yeah.
So you know the tour. And I think one of the times we go there, and it's like it'd be like, oh, this is how we make it. Obviously,
Yes,
facetious and
the
showing a
little
chocolate.
singing cows.
Yeah, the little singing chocolate.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. I'm talking about the memory, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. But
You're not crazy,
I know, but for some reason that memory pops up. But the memory is not even like of the chocolate cow. My first memory I have is like me looking at the chocolate cow and be like, and this is how we make it. I mean, being like at 8. That's not
That's
work.
not right.
And I have no idea out of all the things I remember, but I just remember looking at the chocolate like, don't you lie to me, Hershey.
Yeah, because there was a text that actually said
Yeah, there was
underneath the
something
cow.
about it,
I
but
do remember the
I
ride.
feel like at 8 I like woke up cognition
Some
or
of the
something.
best chocolate milk comes from our chocolate
I'm like,
cows.
I would have seen
You
a
know, like
chocolate
chocolate
cow.
cows don't exist. You know?
Right.
I'll throw that. I'll like, do you guys have like a weird or like an earliest memory or something like that? Because I always find that interesting.
That's
Is it-
great.
And the man of science was born
And
from
the-
that.
It came from the cow.
You know what?
Yeah.
This is so weird,
Yeah.
but my memory is also with Hershey Park.
Oh, really?
I
Okay.
swear to God, this is the
Yeah.
first thing. I was probably 8.
Yeah.
And my dad, I was playing my Game Boy Mario, Game Boy Color.
Yeah.
And I was about to beat the last level.
Mhm.
And we were in the car on our way to Hershey Park. And my dad says, did you know that the Hershey Park's walls, the town of Hershey's walls, are made of chocolate? And I went, what? Turned off my Game Boy, looked up, and I went, what? And he goes, I'm just kidding. And I was like, what the heck? Who does that?
Exactly.
Why would you do this?
Shout out, Dad. I don't know if you remember that, Dad, but
That's fun.
That's beautiful. Hershey Park in their lives. Oh my
Yeah,
God.
that would have been a wonderful town. The town of chocolate.
Town of
The very
chocolate.
walls, the very
I
walls.
really thought that's how gullible I was.
No.
And
No,
your
you were
story
there.
was about like, I knew it. I did not
I
know
don't
it.
No, that's how 8 you were.
Yeah.
That's it. It's very easy to fool 8 year
Yeah,
olds.
definitely.
They won't give me the chocolate cow again. I've been deceived before.
That's it. That's it.
Anybody else like
Wow.
early memories? Early
Well,
memories, just
well, listen. We're I'm not going to say that this is an answer, but for those who are watching, we're back with we're talking with Miss Jessie Rad
yes.
about her album Batenkill.
Mhm.
We'll have in the description, I'm saying that
Yep.
right, all of the URLs and things that we need to connect. We want to thank Paul for introducing us to Jessie, and you give him a call.
Yeah.
Paul, he's and Paul, do you have any questions that you want to by being that you're the man of the hour for this?
I was just wondering, is the album going to be out soon?
Oh.
No.
Yeah, the album is out August
Mhm.
14th.
Yeah, okay.
And it's going to be out at midnight. Or
I like it.
and it's going to be on Spotify, YouTube, all streaming platforms. And then on September 19th is my big bash of the album release, record release party.
Nice.
And that's going to be at our place in Schenectady called Mopco Theater. I rented out the theater. And
Excellent.
we're going to be I'm going to be presenting the album. There's all visuals, lyrics. I'm going to have a couple speakers speak about Alzheimer's and everything. So it's going to be so much fun. There's going to be cake. There's going to be it's going to be so much fun. My whole family is coming. My mom, my dad, my brother, my sister, and
That's
who knows
beautiful.
who else.
Yeah.
And they're all far away from me, so who knows who else is coming, but just it's free. And it's going to be such a good time. Alz.org is sponsoring it.
Excellent. Fantastic.
September 19th at Mopco.
At Mopco,
Mopco.
yeah.
Yes.
I was gonna say, that's it. Just pull a little bit. Yeah, there we go. I just.
Oh my God, have we really been talking?
Oh no! It just seems. Well, what I was gonna say was, what I was gonna say for our family members that are out there, maybe the discussion we just had right now, we don't know what our future holds, and we're not gonna ask. But even just for a good conversation, maybe you can speak to your family members and ask what tethers them to those realities that might bring us back from a place that we didn't know that we'd ever get to. So have those discussions with our friends. And we are not in any way suggesting that this is a resolve, but at least we can have conversations with our family that let us know what's important to us. If you've never had that conversation before.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. Because, you never know. It can happen to you. It could happen to your loved one.
Mm-hmm.
And to have these memories, these connections, these, events that we share, these inside jokes, these music, these jingles, these cartoons, all these little things that we all share with our loved ones. There's some things that they'll never forget.
I was going to ask you this too. At 8 years, do you remember the very first song that you wrote?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Let's see. So this is kind of an embarrassing story, but I did write at, I think I was 11. I wrote and recorded my first song. And my parents wanted, and me and my sister sang on it. And I think it was called American Heroes.
Okay. All right. Okay.
Okay, it gets worse. My parents thought it would be a good idea. This happened right after 9/11, that we would sing about 9/11. So they took my song and they added these lyrics about being a child and not comprehending what was going on, and how can everything keep happening while this terrible thing is happening. And I remember I got my first song, so I was, I think 11. And I brought it to my teacher, and my mom's like, make sure they play it. I want you to show your classmates what you did. And I'm like, okay. And they played it. And then my teacher, Mr. Flaw, he was pretty terrible. He played it while everyone
I'm so sorry.
We all did the same thing. Please, let's say it at the same time. Mr. Flaw?
FLOCH.
Wow.
But I never made that connection. I never made that
It's
connection.
like Mr. Flaw is terrible. We all he's gotta be.
He even spelled his name wrong.
Well done. Well done. He wins tonight.
Mr. Flaw, I think.
We need to get the bell.
We gotta get the bell. We used to, when there was kids. I want to get back to this. Just let you know, when you hear it go bing, 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 bing around the house, when we would tell these jokes, and and sometimes we enjoy jokes that land flat. We'd rather have people go, we don't get it. Like, what's the matter with you? We like those jokes. So when we would have something when once the three of us were doing, because their poor mother, she had to deal with us. But once we realized that someone told a superior joke, we would say, ding, 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 ring the bell, and say that the joke market is now.
It's joke of the day.
It's close to the day.
There's no more jokes. You did it.
You did it.
That's it.
And that was
That's
it right
it.
there.
Yeah.
That was
Joke of the
it.
day.
Oh, that's
All right,
funny.
so pick it up, please.
No, that was it. He played it when everyone was packing up and getting ready to leave, and nobody heard it. And he gave it back to me, and I said, well, "This is what being a musician's like, I guess." And it was all downhill from there, right?
That's so Flaw.
That's so Flaw. He's so Flaw, right? Thanks a lot.
I think wrapping up, I have to share this moment because I think I can relate with you in this one time. I'm so glad I can actually share the story.
Yeah.
Because also talking about music and maybe talking about American heroes and patriots. My father happened to do this for me on my birthday, and I think my dad may remember this. On my birthday, and as I said, my dad's an amazing musician. I may have been 11 or 12, something around there.
I think it was the 8.
Around.
It was actually your 8th birthday.
I mean,
If we're talking about the same thing.
It was a busy year. But on the birthday, I had a whole bunch of friends come over, and I think my dad wanted to record a song, capture the moment with me and my friends at the time. But also at the time, I think we were doing I don't know, it was the war, there's a lot going on. And I don't know how else to explain because I was younger. So this is not to go at my dad here, but I think we wanted like a kumbaya moment kind of thing, right?
Okay.
So we had all the 8-year-old kids. So at some point he comes into our party and he wants to record us singing, but he has like a track behind it. He wanted us to have speak over the track. And he wanted us to speak to the troops. And give a message to the troops, which was.
I remember this, yeah.
But now I look back, and also it's funny because there was just a whole bunch of 8-year-old kids that were my friends that really had no idea what they were saying.
Right.
But it is an amazing moment to capture. But I have a couple of friends that are like, I would like to say thank you to the troops, and it's I have a couple of friends I'm still in contact with, and I love playing it back because I have one friend.
You still have it?
I still have my dad
that's
sent to me, and I still have it. And I play it back. One of my friends sounds like a robot on it. But I just capture that same moment of American patriotism in the moment. And you're
Oh
like,
my God, I know. And I don't even remember. They were like, writing all these lyrics about, and I just remember be like, America the beautiful,
Yeah,
we won't let you die. I have no idea what I'm saying about, but my dad's like, yes, America.
Right. I'm like, yeah.
And I'm like, who's gonna hear this?
Well,
Everybody.
well, I'll tell you what. To my son's either joy or chagrin, I taped almost everything in their lives.
That's cute.
So we will absolutely bring that to the various fields table at one
Oh
time.
yeah.
I love it.
Some of our audio recordings and some of our video recordings, and you can either celebrate or blame me for the things that you may see. But
It's a beautiful moment.
Now we got a few more minutes left, and I hope you've been having a pleasant time.
I've been having such a blast. This is amazing. I could be here for another hour if I felt like it.
We have to get very serious.
This is the only thing I feel. Would you? Because I feel bad doing it. Would you?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is a very important question that my brother brings up because it helps us define exactly where you're going to go with your rest of your musical career.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So with that being said, Lex, would you mind answering the question of all questions?
Sorry, I just wanted to let you know, you seem like a lovely person, but but you have to answer this question. We'll determine.
Okay.
Do you like waffles?
Can you do it again and do the glasses?
Oh, right. I wasn't being serious. I need to understand the capture the moment.
I apologize.
Do you like waffles?
I love a waffle.
That's the right question. Big success. I see you right now.
Listen, you gotta understand. If people who don't like waffles are bad people, that's scientific fact. Don't Google it.
They're not really great people.
They're not really great
Yeah.
people.
We gotta start saying that with them. Don't Google it.
Don't Google it. It's a scientific fact. Don't Google it.
I love a waffle with some ice cream.
Yeah. See now, listen,
Yeah.
and this speaks to your heart. I knew it. I knew it.
Yeah,
like
you
waffles?
knew that?
I knew. I
That's
knew
so
a waffle
funny.
lover when I met it.
Oh, that is so funny. So I answered right.
You answered
Okay.
right. Yeah, that's right. If you answered incorrectly and didn't like waffles, you'd have to kick you out. We apologize.
Waffles.
Exactly what I'm saying.
All right. Okay, I hate to sound like a parrot because I still have not embraced the totality of this idea.
Science.
I indeed love waffles, and I indeed believe that there are good people that like waffles.
You're a great guy.
But any batter-based food, I think, should not, isolate people. So French toast lovers,
Listen. I'm not saying that they're absolutely terrible people. I'm saying they could be better.
Oh, well done.
How long did it take you to whip up that joke?
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, now just cut that out, fellas.
We're so
Boy, oh
stupid.
boy, yeah, it's just. This is how the show goes down. But we thank you for making our show go uphill by your presence being here.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for having me, all of you.
That's great.
Absolutely.
This is fantastic. So,
Yeah.
are they? Do you have any last words before we? We're gonna be.
No, just September 19th is the big party, and August 14th is when the album comes out on all streaming platforms, and just keeping yourself, keep making music, and just remember to hug your loved ones a little harder, a little extra harder today.
And we'll give her one more. Is where can people find you? You have an Instagram, website?
Yeah, Instagram is Jessie Rad, 2 J's, 2 I's.
Beautiful.
And then jessierad.com is my new website, and you can find all the links there.
That's
all
what
the
we're
links
doing
there.
now.
JessieRad.com, done. All right.
We'll have all the links in the description, as my dad said
Awesome.
below.
And we can tell you, you're going to enjoy the music, and not only just the music, but the message within the music. We thank you for being that messenger.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Please don't forget to follow us on, or follow our website, www.variousfields.com. And we also have an opportunity for all of our listeners to join the conversation or even make a new one with our voice memos, right? So please don't forget to share your voice and be heard with the rest of us.
Right. And if you are interested in being in the fourth chair, like Jessie Rad, you possibly can do that. Please go on the website. There's an intake form
Intake
that
forms.
Paul has created. We're really trying to grow here, grow our team. Our team is growing. Take a look at it and on the website. We are just, once again, fellas, I love you to the moon and back.
I love you too, guys.
And Jessie,
Jesse, absolute rad conversation. See? Still the king.
Gotta get that down.
Be here next week for another episode of Various Fields. Thank you for coming.
See you on the next one.